Feeding people during a pandemic. Jose Andres is the chef and restaurant owner. He's also the founder of World Central Kitchen. Chef, thanks for being here. We really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me, Brett.
First, I want to brag on your group a little bit. World Central Kitchen, as of May 3rd, more than 4.5 million fresh meals served, 200 cities, 30 U.S. states and territories, 10 cities in Spain. It is a job to feed people during this time. Talk about it if you would.
Well, we saw very early on that this pandemic was going to be having a big effect in America. We were following what was going on in China, then in Europe, Italy. We began feeding people, many Americans in Yokohama, when the Princess cruise ship, we had to go to start feeding the people inside the ship for many weeks. We followed with Oakland, and we helped the Governor Newsom to do the same, and we activated because we knew that as restaurants were going to be closed, people were going to be losing their jobs, we were going to be having to cover the blind spots of the system, and that's what we've been doing. Right now, we are doing over 200,000 meals a day all across America.
You know, you tweeted out the other day something that really caught my eye, and that is this. People of America, I want to talk about two photos that tell the story of food in our country in this moment. Two different painful realities that we're experiencing, and the opportunity we must seize to make sure food is not the problem, but the solution. Worse, the one is from Idaho. Huge mountains of potatoes without any buyers because so many forms in which we eat them, stadiums, cafeterias, restaurants, are shut down for safety and low demand. And then the lines in San Antonio. And you look at these two pictures, Chef, some people say, how is that possible in America?
Well, we need to understand that America is a food nation. Our founding fathers were farmers. America is a food nation, and we are the melting pot. We need to make sure that food really is the solution to many of the problems we face. I think if something brings America together, is a love for our traditions, our foods. We can see it in days like Thanksgiving. So let's make sure that those photos will not happen in the weeks and months to come. Right now, as many Americans are losing their jobs, as many situations of food production and food distribution, we need to solve those problems and transform them into opportunities. We need to partner with the federal government, the private sector, the NGOs, organizations, faith-based, and all of a sudden make sure that we cover every American through this pandemic in need of a plate of food. Together, we can make this happen.
You want some legislation to move forward as far as FEMA help, as far as feeding people?
I don't really, I'm interested in legislation per se, but I understand if we want the federal government to put their weight to solve these problems, we should be bringing both sides, Republicans and Democrats, together. And when this happens is when America, we the people, show its best. So is this proposal of this bill is called the FEED Act, where already we have bipartisan support in the Congress with Jim McGovern, Thompson, Congressman Davis from Illinois, and then on the Senate we have Senator Harris and Senator Scott of South Carolina. It's amazing that food, in a moment that somehow the party seems they are away, they're coming together to come with smart solutions, bringing the private sector, partnering with the federal government, the states, and the mayors to come up with a simple idea to feed America. Let's put restaurants to work, and let's, at the local level, cover every single problem that we're going to be facing in the weeks and months ahead.
That tweet showed potatoes basically being thrown away and cars in a line in San Antonio for a food line. We got a lot of questions for our town hall across the country from food providers, from farms and from cattle ranchers, saying they're really concerned that they're not going to be able to sell their food.
We need to understand that the vast majority of restaurants in America, they are closed. And even if some states, they want to start reopening, we need to understand that hopefully we'll be reopened soon. But first, we need to make sure that everybody is safe and everybody is healthy. So in this process, that's why World Central Kitchen has been coming up with very smart, out-of-the-box ideas to maximize its potential. If we are able to make sure that FEMA, like has happened in California, partners with the governor so they can feed elderly, to make sure that we use restaurants to do that, you know, in the process of moving away from this pandemic, we put America to work. We make sure that restaurants are part of the solution. We bring Americans back to work and doing good. That is what everybody wants, to be back to work and be an agent of change. One meal at a time, we can be solving some of the bigger problems we face right now in America. And right now is keeping everybody in need of food fed.
Jose Andres, thanks for all you're doing for the country. World Central Kitchen is the organization. We appreciate your time.
Thank you, sir.